for something. Sometimes they're very direct and know what they want, but sometimes it might just be something that you can kind of preempt with a suggestion. Oh, you know, like a little bit of fuzz, a slightly different thing, a different snare drum sound, tuning it differently. But by knowing that, by experimenting with that, you're going to gain their confidence, because you're clearly then doing something that's musical. It's not just like a chops thing. It's something that's sonically impressive, and quite often people want people who are sonically savvy. They want players who are kind of aware of how to get different sounds.
One trick I've done, does anyone record acoustic guitars a lot? Anyone?
Well, at home, yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
One thing I got used to doing, or I've done a lot on, I did it on a Jamiroquai album actually, and I've done it since on a few other projects, is I'll have a load of acoustic guitars and I'll record the same part with each one. I'll have someone label them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and then it's to see which one sounds the best in the track. And then you go out to lunch and come back and just listen blind. So you're not listening to, you don't know which one you're listening to. And it's amazing, you know, quite often it's the cheapest one that sounds the best on the track, you know, or the one that's recorded with an SM57 rather than a £3,000 U47 or something, you know. It's whatever fits the track. Track and record one channel with a track on it, and then just try and make, not that thing of, you know, if you play along with a song, you're playing along with greats generally. You know, I might be playing bass with Steve Gadd, and Will Lee's playing along with Steve Gadd as well, so of course I'm going to sound cool, just kind of noodling on the top. But what I used to do was then just drop the track out completely and just see if I could make the bass sound really groovy on its own without a click or without anything. And I think when you do that kind of thing, or you record, you know, Gareth records himself just playing pocket, you start to realise that you spot what you've got and what you're kind of good at, and that is confidence building. a solo or a lead break, or I want a bit more, I kick a boost pedal on in front of it, and it just pushes the pedal, which then in turn pushes the valve amp valves a little bit harder. And I've got a delay pedal, a Strymon timeline. I don't know if you know these pedals. This is a really great pedal, but I use two sounds on it. I have a delay that's always kind of on. And I've got an expression pedal which just I use to sort of blossom in. And another thing I do, so I've got that as my main delay setting, so I'll switch that on in solos, and I've got the expression pedal as just the mix of the delay.
It's about the feeling, the emotion. And one thing I was going to say is, when you're delving into different styles and different territories that you haven't been in, and you know, whether it's an old school or a country, and you're learning the language of that music, you know, you might find yourself playing cheesy stuff, but it works. And you shouldn't be afraid of playing that cheesy lick, playing that cheesy sound, because if it works in the moment, it works in the moment.
I think it's important to actually not be tempted to throw in things that just don't.
Yeah.
You kind of shoehorning your favourite slap lick into something like a lovely kind of acoustic ballad. It's just out of context, and I think that's a temptation that you've really got to. It's all right experimenting, like we were saying, but I'm with Gareth on that.